Alright, what's up, y'all? How everybody doing? So, um, my name's Isaac Clark. I'm the president of the Supers Athletic Organization, which is an athletic organization that services youth from the ages of 5 to 18, just depending on the sport. Um, and that's it for my shameless plug. I don't really want to, I didn't start this video to talk about the Supers, although they are awesome and we know that. But what I wanted to talk about was I'm here, Stevensville, Stevensville, Texas. Don't ask me where it's at because it's out here in the middle of nowhere. All right. Um, but I'm on the campus of Tarleton State University. Why am I here? Because I just dropped two of my sons off to a 3-day overnight camp, and it got me to thinking. This is our third camp this summer. College camp, that is. I know there's a lot of local camps here in El Paso that's going on, but um, we've been hitting the college trail for two reasons. Number one, definitely, we want to get our names out there. We want to turn some heads, and we want to get recruited. Free college is always a plus. But number two, so that we can get the training, we can get the knowledge, the understanding from college coaches. Teach them about, the little tricks of the trade that they use in their positions, and just help them, advance their game. With that being said, my question, or I guess my opinion, or what I want to bring up for debate is, when is doing too much for your kid? Like, what's doing too much? Or are you doing enough? Because truthfully, the eye-opening and the nitty-gritty truth of the whole recruiting thing is recruiters just not gonna show up at your door. I don't care how good you are. There's probably 1% of athletes that don't really have to put themselves out there. That somebody just gonna come and get them. People are gonna find out about them and they're gonna flock to them. But the majority of the athletes, especially in a city like El Paso, that's misunderstood and underestimated as far as athletes, because El Paso has some dogs. El Paso has some kids that can really go. Like, I'm all over the state this week. I'm all over the state of Texas. And yeah, there's one or two kids that pop off, the screen, and you're like, okay, that kid is good. But there's only one or two of them. I really can't tell our boys from the other kids. I don't see anything standing out. They're right in the mix with everybody else. So what I'm saying is, it's all about getting yourself out there. You never know. Some coaches like short cornerbacks. Some coaches like tall wide receivers. Some coaches like athletic quarterbacks. Some want a big 6'5", country fed, stand in the pocket quarterback. You just never know what the coaches want. And just because you don't have that many offers, or just because one coach says, nah, we want something else, that's not, man, it's schools all over the place. And you got to think, as long as it's not a D3 school, they can offer you, scholarship money, football, like athletic money. D3 schools don't offer athletic money, but they offer other things. They have their little ways. But get your kids out there, Get them out of El Paso. Everybody can't go to UTEP, and everybody shouldn't be trying to go to UTEP. Truthfully, UTEP don't give us the love in El Paso like they should. Football is starting to come around. Last year was the biggest year that they ever recruited the city of El Paso. Props to them. Pat them on the back. But for the most part, UTEP don't give the love to El Paso, especially not on the football level. Football, I don't understand why UTEP isn't more involved in the youth football scene. I could see the problem with getting involved with the high school scene because, there's all kinds of ways that, that could be misconstrued and, somebody will take something. But the youth scene, big shout out to the El Paso youth football. The El Paso high school coaches that are starting to come around. When I first came to El Paso and got involved in the youth football game, everybody told me, nah, the coaches don't want to work with us and they don't want to let us use their fields and, they don't care about us. The ones who they don't care about, listen to me, come here. The ones who they don't care about are y'all coaches that can't coach, that's out there just trying to put your little fat son at doggone quarterback or running back, and you want to give him his little glory years until he's freaking 12, 13 years old, and then he'll be on the line, and ain't nothing wrong being on the line, but for some reason y'all think that it's a bad thing. The coaches that's really out there trying to progress football, the high school coaches will work with you. I don't care what none of these guys are talking about. The high school coaches will work with you. Set yourself up a presentation, put it up right, do it like it should be done, professionally. Schedule a meeting with the coach and go in there and sit down with him. Especially if you are playing, your kids are coming from his area. Those are his future kids. Why wouldn't he care about those kids? But El Paso, we got to get on it, man. We got to bring the football game up. We just had a bunch of teams come out here to San Antonio and get mollywopped. And those are some decent teams when they're in El Paso. Same thing with high school football. We have to. The onus is on us, parents and youth coaches, to bring the level of football expectation up. Because if we bring that level of football expectation up at the youth level, all the other levels have no choice but to follow. If we're sending a more knowledgeable product, you don't have to listen how fast somebody, how fast a kid is. We really don't have much control over that. Although, you can put them in track and get them used to, the work ethic and stuff like that. But as a coach, if you send a kid to high school, he get to high school as a freshman and he is knowledgeable of the game. And I'm talking about different formations. He understands what, the quarterback does, but not just the skill positions, guys. Don't just focus on them skill positions. You got linebackers and linemen. That's where football eats at. And I guarantee you, if you ask every single one of them teams that lost, they probably lost the game on the line. Because for some reason, we tend to overlook the line. There's a lot of big old boys in El Paso. We shouldn't be overlooking the line. But, there's a lot of camps going on around the state. Get them out there. Get those kids out there. High school kids should definitely be going to camps. Even if they have no aspirations to playing high school football, that they don't think that they're good enough to play high school football, they should definitely be going to these camps so that they can get better and make their team better. There's only so much time your coach has with you. I'm sure your coach will be okay with you missing camp if you tell coach, hey coach, for the week of such and such, little Johnny gonna be gone because he gotta be at camp at, Texas State or wherever. All right, no problem. You know, that's a no-brainer. You know, you trying to tell me your English teacher gonna be upset because you going to do some extra study hall? Like, no, nobody's gonna be upset because of that. So, you know, get out there, take advantage of it. It's gonna cost you a couple of dollars and some gas money and whatnot, but you know what? You never know, man. You go out to one of these camps and you turn somebody's head, and then they come up to you and they ask you, "Hey, man, what grade are you in?" And they find out, "Oh man, this guy is only a freshman, or he only a sophomore, and he's doing this to these guys." Imagine when he get to be a senior. So keep that in mind, man. Don't just sit there at home thinking that recruiters gonna come beating on your door, because they're not. That is not the way it goes. And yeah, you can send out your game film, and you can send out your, you can email people and do all of that stuff on your own, but they want to see you. I guarantee you, if it's you and another kid tied, same height, same grade point average, y'all run the same 40 time, your vertical is the same, but he showed up to camp and you stayed at home because you figured your game tape was good enough by itself, most likely he gonna get the nod. Especially if he showed up to camp and he had the week of his life and he just balled out at camp. And that's a missed opportunity that you won't even know about. So it's not even like you're gonna regret it. It's just, it's an opportunity you won't even know about because you never gave yourself the opportunity to get there. But that's just my opinion, guys. I went through the recruiting process myself a little bit, and I'm trying to give my boys the part of the recruiting process that I missed. And so, just like with anything else, man, if I eat off of it, I want everybody else to eat off of it too. So, take that for what it's worth, but get your kid out there. If you really want your kid, I ain't talking about, oh, well, he can only go to UTEP because I want my baby to stay close to me. I'm talking about, I really want him to go to college. I want to get recruited. I want to do something outside of El Paso. Get them out there, guys. All right? Coming from the state of Texas, you guys might look at El Paso as, well, we just from El Paso. It says El Paso, Texas. And guess what? When you put that on the North Dakota, New Mexico, a lot of these other states, they look up to Texas when it comes to football. And what you guys don't understand is how competitive it is for us in Texas. They don't have the same competitive level. So they already know that a C talent in the state of Texas can go to North Dakota and be an A-. So don't count yourself out. Let the other people do that. That's their job. Believe in yourself. Get your name out there. If you want, if you want a profile online, I can help you with that. Just, hit me up, comments or whatnot, and I'll take care of that. Well, that's it from Coach Clark's Corner. I just made that up, Coach Clark's Corner. That's going to be what my blog's called. Coach Clark's Corner. I'm out, baby.